Welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus. Tonight I want to go through a little review of the Evercade VS console and a few of my favourite games, Flashback and Project X. So to begin with, we'll just go through the general setup of this console. There's 4 controller ports, 2 cartridge slots underneath the hood, and the games, you chuck them in and they load immediately. As you can see, you're presented with a kind of pretty graphical menu, a little bit of lore, some information on how long you've played the game for. You can review the controls, the history of the game, some other things like that, but I suggest you just click play and crack straight on. So let's go. First thing you'll notice about this game is it's very faithful to the original Amiga game from Delphine Software, as you can see here. And what I'm going to be doing is showing you how the game plays, the quality of the graphics, and talking you a little bit about how to play the game for those who've never played it. The cutscenes they look like they're rendered with 3D polygons, but they're actually not. They use a technique called rotoscoping, which stretches 2D shapes out and moves them around in such a way that they look like polygons. So, I mean, it's a kind of early 3D attempt, which I think's pretty damn cool. As you can see here, I'm just about to get shot down. And the storyline, as you can see, is you're a science guy escaping from some goons and the police. And then you are shot down on an alien world, and you need to get back to where you were, armed with nothing but your furious testosterone-fueled anger and your manly wit. And the first order of the day is to wake up and recover whatever that thing was that you just knocked down. So we start off, no enemies knocking around, nothing to do apart from learn the controls, which is just as well because they're a little bit awkward for them people who have never played this game before. You get used to them really quickly, I've got to say. It's a really good setup. But the gist of it is D-pad control, backwards, forwards, up and down for jump and duck. You have a jump button, a run button, you have a gun button, and you have an action button. And now we know the controls, we are ready to go off and become a superior version of a man. Now, the first thing you need to be a superior version of a man is your hollow cube. The second thing you need to become a superior man is a shield and a gun. You don't need any credits, money, and that's just as well because you have 0 to start with. I was going to say you need a pair of testicles, but that's not strictly true these days. You can be a superior man without having ever had testicles, so let's just forget I ever said that. And our first encounter with a scary. That thing over there is a scary robot, which will scarily cut you in half with its little circular blade if you allow it to. However, with a little running jump and a lot of skill, we can skip straight past that onto the next screen, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then we are confronted with our first meatbag, fleshbag, alien enemy, which is going to be a job for the old pistol. So sneak up to the edge, check him out. They're obviously not that clever, but if I make noise or I drop down in front of him, he will try and kill me. So the best thing to do is employ the combat roll and then bash him on the head with a gun. If you're at close range, it automatically does a melee rather than a bullet. There we go, one dead meatbag. So you get the general idea of the game. It's a platformer, it's also a puzzle game. It has elements of RPG, but really it's like a puzzle game slash adventure, I think. So the gist of it is there's lots of screens to go through. It's not really a maze. There are alternate paths later in the game. And there's a lot of places where you'll just die if you get it wrong. So it's not the easiest game ever. But the storyline and the characters, despite the lack of voice acting, is really good. I really enjoy this game. Scary music generally means lots of enemies, run away because you will die. So that's what we're going to do. Drop down here. And another flesh bag to go and kill. You'll notice the similarity between this game and Prince of Persia, if you've ever played that, or several other platform games of a similar ilk. But the gimmick with this one is it actually has a really involved storyline. So as you progress through the game, you learn a little bit more about your character's background, and you learn a bit more about the... there's like a bad guy you fight at the end and why he is chasing you. Because obviously when you bumped your head, you forgot your own life story, as happens when you bump your head. And also you forgot where this place is and how you got there. But I'm sure the Hollow Cube will reveal all when we finally get to use it. Also, the environmental storytelling of this game was quite new for the time. I think is pretty good. So we have a cartridge data lock here. And if we try to use it, it will say, I need a fully charged magnetic cartridge, which reveals two things. The first thing it reveals is we need to go and find a magnetic cartridge. The second thing it reveals is when we find it, it's going to be empty. So we'll need to find somewhere to charge it so we can use it. So we'll use our earlier... Oh, I panicked there. I did that on purpose. That was me just flexing in front of the enemies there. So we'll skip past this guy before he can kill me. Have to wait for him to back off a little bit. I'll just jump over him. There we go. As long as that blade doesn't hit you, you're absolutely fine. And we'll go and bonk the flesh bag on the head, just to get him out of the way. Occasionally enemies... Oh, there you go. He has the cartridge. I was going to say occasionally enemies will drop important items. But there you go, the cartridge. That's what we were looking for. So let's take that. Kind of cool how you get a little cutscene every time you pick something up or you forward the story in some relevant fashion. Notice the big hanging vines in the background. That generally tells you there's a screen to drop down to, although you might have to find a separate alternative route down there. Because too long of a drop will squish you. Environmental damage is an immediate kill. And although you have a shield, you can be shot or punched a few times, knocked into by things. Environmental damage will kill you immediately, as will an encounter with a predator, or if some large vehicle, say it's got like a rocket at the back and the rocket goes off, that will incinerate you. So just keep that in mind and you will be fine. Shield 3, there you go, 3 hits before your 4th hit will kill you is what that means. That green plume will kill you as well, that's environmental hazard. Generally, if something looks like it will kill you, it probably will in this game. It's quite punishing, and the reason you put up with that is because later on in the game especially, it's actually really good fun. The puzzles are really good and engaging. It's not like today's puzzle games where the puzzle is so easy a 4-year-old could do it. You actually have to engage your remaining brain cells to figure out this game. And so to avoid the electrified floor there, I'm just going to do a little hop, skip and a jump. Oh, look at that. How generous of the developers to put a safe spot there so that I didn't overrun and die. And we've made our way to the charging machine. So as soon as I figure out the buttons, I will put the magnetic cartridge in the charging machine. And then we can toddle off and open the magnetic lock that we passed earlier on. I could also jump up and go along that top platform, fight the other meatbag guy and go and explore off up there. But in the interest of time, I think I'll leave that till another time. And there we go. So remember not to run straight down onto the electric floor because you will die. There's quite a few little traps like that. It's not necessarily a trap, but if you don't think before you walk or jump, you are likely to get killed. But it teaches you to be cautious, so it kind of improves your gamer intelligence. You know, you will get good if you complete this game. GG, bro, and all the rest of it. And we are back at the magnetic lock. So stick the magnetic thing in the keyhole. Cool little cutscene. Energy displacement, and okay. And we have a bridge to climb. So jump over that guy and carry on with the game. So we have to go up this lift in order to get to the... Shit. I forgot about the electric floor there. So anyway, that's flashback. I will not carry on playing it because even though I can start again from there because of the quick saves, I actually forgot to do one. So that's Flashback, 1993 platformer from Delphine Software. And the other game I wanted to show you is more about the music than anything, is Project X Special Edition. Another 93 game, but this is a side-scrolling space shooter for up to 2 players. But I'm going to shut up now so we can listen to the awesome music that this game features. You see, I wasn't lying. Tell me that that soundtrack is not awesome. It's amazing. In fact, most Team 17 games on the Amiga did have amazing soundtracks. But anyway, let's get ready, player one, and on with the game. So your ship features upgradable hardware. At the bottom you can see speed, missiles, lasers, all the components of your ship. And each time you kill the head of a wave of enemies, you get a little power up to collect, and then you can select which part of your ship you're going to upgrade. With the thesis being, after you've upgraded it a fair amount, you will be able to beat the bosses. But I'm pretty crap at these games, and I ran straight into a little stray bullet there, so start again. But you shall have far better luck than I will with this game, because I'm 42, old and decrepit. I'm nearly dead, so my reaction speeds are fairly slow. Back in the old days when I was a young whippersnapper, I used to be able to complete probably the first 4 or 5 levels of this without even being hit, so there is a certain skill element to it. You can learn the patterns and so forth and be very good at this game. Or like me, you can just barrel in like a blind old man and not be very good at all. But it's great fun. I do like these side-scrolling shooty games. And because I died twice on the same bit, it's going to give me a varied section. So, asteroid field, where if you shoot a lot of asteroids, you get a lot of power-ups. So it kind of makes up for the shortfall of skill by giving you more stuff. I'm absolutely rubbish. I'm hardly killing anything. I literally missed about 4 power-ups there. Come on, Daily, this is poor. I don't even have the excuse of a laggy camera feed. This is me playing live. I've at least got to get to the mini-boss. If I don't get to the mini-boss, I shall hang my head in shame. And listen to the music. Because it will make me feel better, because it is so absolutely awesome. So as you can see, a couple of minutes in the game has improved my skill somewhat. My confidence is rising, and that usually means I'm soon to be of another world. I will die. Overconfidence will be your enemy in these kind of games. As soon as you feel safe, you'll run into something and die. But that's half the fun. Anyone who grew up in the 90s will know games were a little bit more difficult back then. Oh, come on, the hitbox on that stitched me right up there. Oh, cloud in the background, that means we're near. There we go, mini-boss 1. So as you can see, lots of bullets, lots of movement. But realistically, once you've beaten him a few times, this is one of the easier ones in the game. I'm not saying I will win, I'm not very confident here. I've got no upgrades as well, I should have much better guns by now. No, I'm just terrible at this game. But as you can see, this is a great game. The graphics are really good. And, well, that's the Evercade VS, so if you think this looks like your kind of thing, pick yourself up one of these God bless, enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next one.